SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's video, I'm going to explain to you why Dish is probably going to hit its mark in building its 80% 5G network availability across the country. For those of you that caught the most recent videos about Dish, we know that they just made a pretty big deal, and kind of spinning off, or I should say selling their Dish network business. That's the satellite TV. And they're probably going to have what it takes to finish their network build. Anyway, they're also going to be exploring the direct-to-device market, satellite to smartphones, which offers this new frontier possibilities for revenue streams. So we're going to talk about all this. I'll link you guys with something in the description. Ways to support us can be found there as well. Please do like and share this video, subscribe if it's your first time here, and turn on the bell notifications to never miss an upload from the SMT. All right, folks, so let's start with this first piece, right? Dish now has the cash fluidity to actually finish building their 5G network. This was a network mark initially set at like 70% of the US with all their different frequency bands and spectrum licenses. Dish voluntarily said, we'll make it 80% if you give us more time to build it. And the FCC obliged. They granted them the extension, gave them the permission to do that, and agreed to it. Dish made the deal happen, with TPG and AT&T and all of that kind of Dish network business sale, and now they've got the cash to do it. So what they're basically going to have here is an immediate $2.5 billion in funding that Dish will immediately just start putting into the network. So they'll get to finish the network, expand the network, get it deeper and broader and more available in more places. So the lifeline from the DirecTV merger with TPG, AT&T, and all that, AT&T made out like a bandit. I think they're getting over $7 billion out of the deal. Dish survives and lives to see the next 3 years in order to hit those marks, right? And there's no guarantee that Dish survives beyond that, right? We're just talking strictly network build. They still have to get customers, right? They still have to compete. So I don't know. I think getting to the mark is great, and they'll have the network, but they're obviously going to have to sell it. This is good news for the 5G equipment vendors that we're doing business with Dish, and in some ways it's good for AT&T too, because you've got like a relationship there with Dish, MVNO and stuff like that. But this is going to be big. And then kind of to spin off of that, Echostar and Dish, they're looking into the direct to device market. So we're talking about spectrum rights, building, a constellation for cell service, with the satellite piece. And that's something we've seen from Starlink and T-Mobile, and it's something we've seen from AST and Verizon and AT&T. And that's a business segment that Dish knows, satellites. You know what I mean? So I think it's to their advantage that they have that experience pre-existing. They've been in that space for decades. They know it. It's what they do. I think it's really compelling, and can they turn that into an international business? Can they turn that into a national scaled business? A bargaining chip, a selling point for customers. If it's meaningful, if it brings value to the customer, can they monetize that sort of thing? There's a lot of potential there. You know what I mean? And now I think with that burden off their back from the November debt amount of like 1.9 billion, now I think they have some flexibility. They can move without feeling desperate. They can move in a more confident way, right? You're kind of getting, oxygen into the room, and you're getting air and breath into and life into the company. So there's a lot of hope there. All right. So obviously I'm more optimistic about Dish than most folks. I think this is a huge sign for them that they have some time to try to execute something. And this is actually pretty exciting. But what do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all this news and all that's happened and transpired over the last couple of days. Excited to read what you guys have to say on it. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.